We listened to the radio when we were girls and boys. Our mums and dads said modern tunes was nought but dreadful noise. Still we kept the wireless on to hear our favourite songs. We learned the words as best we could and then we sang along with Bill Haley and the Comets, Elvis Presley, Jerry Lee, Gene Vincent, Buddy Holly and the brothers Everly. They showed us new horizons, opened up a brand new world, and the Beach Boys introduced us all to California girls. So join us in the song, raise your voice and sing along, like our ancestors before us when it comes round to the chorus. Find the key or harmony and join us in the song. Then John, Paul, George and Ringo gave us back our native voice. The Hollies and the Rolling Stones offered us a choice. The folk scare of the 60s said that everyone should sing, and if you had a hammer you should make that hammer ring. Peter, Paul and Mary proved new songs could still be found. The mamas and the papas hit us with the West Coast sound. Then drums and Stratocasters put folk music in the news. The times were changing, freedom just meant nothing left to lose. So join us in the song, raise your voice and sing along, like our ancestors before us when it comes round to the chorus. Find the key or harmony and join us in the song. Ewan sang the fishing and the travelling people's life. Bert gave us old ballads full of sorrow, love and strife. Young Tradition and the Coppers sang us glories of our past. Old Stan recalled the shanties and his time before the mast. Cyril sang the other side of life upon the seas. Keith brought us a barrel filled with rousing harmonies. Martin told us of the famous flower of serving men. Stan found the Northwest Passage was the road back home again. So join us in the song, raise your voice and sing along, like our ancestors before us when it comes round to the chorus. Find the key or harmony and join us in the song. The songs that stand the test of time will ring down through the years. Some of them will bring you joy while others bring you tears. Some speak of new tomorrows or of good times past and gone. And them that's worth the singing are the ones worth passing on. But never tell your kids you think their music's nought but noise, or you'll seem like a dinosaur to modern girls and boys. And mind you teach your children well and teach your grandkids too. Then someday they'll be standing here and singing just like you. Join us in the song, raise your voice and sing along, like our ancestors before us when it comes round to the chorus. Find the key or harmony and join us in the song. Raise your voice and sing along, like our ancestors before us when it comes round to the chorus. Find the key or harmony and join us in the song. You spent your life in service, you've apprenticed long enough, and you learned to love the ocean, both becalmed and deathly rough. Now you wait in patient solitude for some long abandoned ship to call you up for duty and one more longed for trip. Still Henry comes to see you, to wipe away your tears with his love of country music and half a dozen beers. And he takes you from your lonely room, he takes you on the town, says if you can't forget the ocean, there's danger you might drown. No 60-year-old sailor is wanted on the sea. No 40 years of sailing will get them to agree. No 20 years of reasoning will ever make them see that no amount of money can ever set you free. Still Henry's young and happy, he can only do so much, and you realize he loses you when you start losing touch. In this dirty, smoky barroom, you stare blindly at your past, and you see the ghost of every coast appearing in your glass. And you did your bit for Europe, for your king and your country, but they soon forgot your sacrifice in the wake of victory. Now these empty bottles ask you, was it peace or was it war? Was it love or just frustration that brought you down so far? No 60-year-old sailor is wanted on the sea. No 40 years of sailing will get them to agree. No 20 years of reasoning will ever make them see that no amount of money can ever set you free. And all these years of waiting, will they be worth it after all? Because there's only one more voyage, just one more port of call. There's no better place than a sailing ship to get an education. You learn how to tar the rattlings down, drink up your rum ration. So hoist up the John B. sail, see how the mainsail sails, call for the captain ashore, let me go home, let me go home,
Let me go home.
let me go home,
Let me go home.
I feel so break up, I wanna go home. We sailed on the sloop John B., my grandfather and me. Around Nassau town we did roam, drinking all night, got into a fight. I feel to break up, I wanna go home. We carried the ladies to Nassau Town like other sailing boats. There were 20 trunks down in the hold, all full of petticoats. Then the first mate, he got drunk, broke up the ladies' trunks. The constable come on board to take him away. Sheriff John Stone, let me alone. I feel to break up, I wanna go home. We eat aboard the sloop John B, food of the very best. But Cookie, he never calls it food, he only calls it a mess. Oh, Cookie, he took the fits, throw away all of the grits. Then he'd take and he'd throw away all of the corn. Let me go home, won't you let me go home? I feel to break up, I wanna go home. For there's no better place than a sailing ship to get an education. You learn how to tar the rattlings down and drink up your rum ration. So hoist up the John B. sail, see how the mainsail sails. Call for the captain ashore, let me go home. Let me go home. Let me go home.
Let me go home.
Let me go home.
Let me go home.
I feel to break up, I wanna go home. I feel to break up, I wanna go home. This is the worst trip I've ever been on. This is the first trip I've ever been on. Now in bygone days of yore, on Ireland's blessed shore, a man got off the boat and raised his hat. He said, if you need a patron, I'm sure I'll make a great one. I'm very pleased to meet you, my name's Pat. So drink a health to us and Pat, no matter where you're at, in Dublin town or far America. North or south or east or west, do not argue who's the best. If you're Irish, celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Now in Erin's Isle so green, no snakes there can be seen. St. Patrick came and chased them all away. In the land of hills and bogs, there's lots of cats and dogs, but no snakes are found in Ireland, so they say. And drink a health to old St. Pat, no matter where you're at, in Dublin town or far America. North or south or east or west, do not argue who's the best. If you're Irish, celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Liffey water gurgles down lots of throats in Dublin town. The Belfast bars are pumping Caffrey's out. There is Jameson's and Bushnell served from Galway to the foothills, but down in Cork they order Murphy Stout. Shake your neighbour by the hand, tell him you're an Irishman, and on St. Patrick's Day you've cause to smile. If you come from near Dundalk, or south by County Cork. Just be thankful that you're from the Emerald Isle, and drink a health to old St. Pat, no matter where you're at, in Dublin town or far America. North or south or east or west, do not argue who's the best. If you're Irish, celebrate St. Patrick's Day. If you're Irish, celebrate St. Patrick's Day. And if you're Irish, come into the parlour. If you're Irish, celebrate St. Patrick's Day. The sheets were frozen hard, and they cut the naked hand. The decks were like a slide, where a seaman scarce could stand. The wind was a nor'wester, blowing squally off the sea, and cliffs and spouting breakers were the only things alee. They heard the surf a-roaring for the breaking of the day, but 'twas only with the peep of light we saw how ill she lay. We tumbled every hand on deck, instanter with a shout. We gave her the main topsail and stood by to go about. All day we tacked and tacked between the south head and the north. All day we hauled the frozen sheets and got no further forth. All day as cold as charity, in bitter pain and dread. For very life and nature we tacked from head to head. We gave the south a wider berth, for there the tide race roared. But with every tack we made, we brought the north head close aboard. So's we saw the cliffs and houses, and the breakers running high, and the Coast Guard in his garden, with his glass against his eye. The frost was on the village roofs, as white as ocean foam. The good red fires were burning bright in every longshore home. The windows sparkled clear, and the chimneys volleyed out, and I vow we sniffed the victuals as the vessel went about. The bells upon the church were rung with mighty jovial cheer, for it's just that I should tell you how, of all days of the year, this day of our adversity was blessed Christmas morn, and the house above the Coast Guards was the house where I was born. 'Tis well I saw the pleasant room, the pleasant faces there, my mother's silver spectacles, my father's silver hair, and well I saw the firelight like a flight of homely elves go dancing round the china plates that stand upon the shelves. And well I knew the talk they had, the talk that was of me, of the shadow on the household and the son that went to sea. And oh, the wicked fool I seemed in every kind of way, to be here and hauling frozen ropes on blessed Christmas Day. They lit the high sea light, the dark began to fall. All hands to loose the gallant sails, I heard the captain call. By the Lord, she'll never stand it, our first mate Jackson cried. It's the one way or the other, Mr. Jackson, he replied. She staggered to her bearings, but the sails were new and good, and the ship smelt up to windward, just as though she understood. As the winter day was ending, in the entry of the night, we cleared the weary headland and passed below the light. And they heaved a mighty breath, every soul on board but me, as they saw her nose again, pointing handsome out to sea. But all that I could think of in the darkness and the cold was just that I was leaving home, and my folks were growing old. Oh, a ship in the tropics a-foaming along, with every stitch drawing, the trade blowing strong. The white caps all round her a-breaking in spray, for the girls have got hold of her tow rope today. And it's haul away, girls, steady and true, Polly and Dolly and Sally and Sue, mothers and sisters, sweethearts and all. Haul away, all the way, haul away, haul. She is logging 16 as she speeds from the south, the wind in her royals, a bone in her mouth. With a wake like a mill race she speeds on her way, for the girls have got hold of her tow rope today. Haul away, girls, steady and true, Polly and Dolly and Sally and Sue, mothers and sisters, sweethearts and all. Haul away, all the way, haul away, haul. Well, the old man, he stood on the poop at high noon. He paced fore and aft and he whistled a tune. Then he put by his sextant and this he did say: the girls have got hold of our tow rope today. Haul away, girls, steady and true, Polly and Dolly and Sally and Sue, mothers and sisters, sweethearts and all. Haul away, all the way, haul away, haul. Well, of cargoes and charters we've had our full share, of grain and of lumber enough and to spare, of nitrates at Talto and rice for Bombay, and the girls have got hold of our tow rope today. Haul away, girls, steady and true, Polly and Dolly and Sally and Sue, mothers and sisters, sweethearts and all. Haul away, all the way, haul away, haul. She has dipped her yards under, hove to off the Horn. In the fog and the floes she has drifted forlorn. Becalmed in the doldrums, a week long she lay, but the girls have got hold of her tow rope today. Haul away, girls, steady and true, Polly and Dolly and Sally and Sue, mothers and sisters, sweethearts and all. Haul away, all the way, haul away, haul. Can't Can't you hear the good trade wind a-singing aloud? A homeward bound shanty in sheet and in shroud. Oh, hear how he whistles in halyard and stay. The girls have got hold of the tow rope today. Pull away, girls, steady and true. Holly and Dolly and Sally and Sue. Mothers and sisters, sweethearts and all. Haul away, all the way, haul away, haul. And it's ho for the chops of the channel at last, and the cheers that go up when the tug hawses past. The mates, that'll do, and 14 months' pay, for the girls will get hold of our tow ropes today. Haul away, girls, steady and true. Holly and Dolly and Sally and Sue. Mothers and sisters, sweethearts and all. Haul away, all the way, haul away, haul. In the times when I was nothing but a lad, I never did see much of me dad. Oft time that was reason to be sad, for him and me grandad too were deep sea sailors. But me grandmother took me for walks by the sea, to teach me the ways that the weather can be. She'd study the sky and say to me, there's just enough blue to patch a Dutchman's trousers. In the winter time when the north winds blow and the sky takes on a silvery glow, that's a certain sign it's going to snow. So you must be ready to chip the ice from the rigging. But if the wind is from the southwest and the spray's being blown back from the wave's crest, batten down the hatches and hope for the best. If you're lucky you'll see the blue of the Dutchman's trousers. The pilot gives us a farewell hail, all on the halyards of the mainsail. The wind is steady, there's a following gale, with just enough blue to patch a Dutchman's trousers. When I became an able hand, I remembered the lessons that I learned from me gran. The mates would call me the weatherman. On each trip I was the one with the reputation, who knew if a breeze or a gale would blow when I came on deck from down below. The skipper would always want to know, will there be enough blue to patch a Dutchman's trousers? The pilot gives us a farewell hail, all on the halyards of the mainsail. The wind is steady, there's a following gale, with just enough blue to patch a Dutchman's trousers. Where the saying came from, I really don't know. The Hollanders used to be our foe. That was a very long time ago. For centuries now we've sailed the seas together, from the great southern ocean to the Mediterranean, on a sailing ship or a submarine. The days are few and far between when there's not enough blue to patch a Dutchman's trousers. The pilot gives us a farewell hail, all on the halyards of the mainsail. The wind is steady, there's a following gale, with just enough blue to patch a Dutchman's trousers. The pilot gives us a farewell hail, all on the halyards of the mainsail. The wind is steady, there's a following gale, with just enough blue to patch a Dutchman's trousers. When Julius Fabricius, sub-prefect of the Weald, in the days of Diocletian, owned our lower river field, he called to him Hobdinius, a Briton of the clay, saying, what about that river piece for laying into hay? And the aged Hobden answered, I remember as a lad, my father told your father that she wanted dreening bad, and the more that you neglect her, the less you'll get her clean. Have it just as you've a mind to, but if I was you, I'd dreen. So they drained it long and crossways in the lavish Roman style. Still we find among the river drift their flakes of ancient tile, and in drouthy middle August, when the bones of meadows show, we can trace the lines they followed 1600 years ago. Then Julius Fabricius died, as even prefects do, and after certain centuries imperial Rome died too. Then did robbers enter Britain from across the northern main, and our lower river field was won by Ogier the Dane. Well could Ogier work his war boat, well could Ogier wield his brand, much he knew of foaming waters, not so much of farming land. So he called to him a Hobden of the old unaltered blood, saying, what about that river piece? She doesn't look no good. And that aged Hobden answered, 'Tain't for me to interfere, but I've known that bit of meadow now for 55 year. Have it just as you've a mind to, but I've proved it time on time. If you want to change her nature, you have got to give her lime. Ogier sent his wains to Lewes, 20 hours solemn walk, and drew back great abundance of the cool grey healing chalk, and old Hobden spread it broadcast, never heeding what was in't, which is why in cleaning ditches now and then we find a flint. Ogier died, his sons grew English, Anglo-Saxon was their name, till out of blossomed Normandy another pirate came. For Duke William conquered England and divided with his men, and our lower river field he gave to William of Warren. But the brook, you know her habit, rose one rainy autumn night and tore down sodden flitches of the bank to left and right. So said William to his bailiff as they rode their dripping rounds, Hob, what about that river bit? The brook's got up no bounds. And that aged Hobden answered, 'Tain't my business to advise, but you might ha' known 'twould happen from the way the valley lies, where you can't hold back the water, you must try and save the soil. Have it just as you've a mind to, but if I was you, I'd spile.' So they spiled along the watercourse with trunks of willow trees, planks of elm behind 'em, and immortal oaken knees. And when the spates of autumn whirl the gravel beds away, you can see their faithful fragments, iron hard in iron clay. George I Quinty Anno Sexto, I, who own the river field, am fortified with title deeds, attested, signed and sealed, guaranteeing me my assigns, my executors and heirs, all sorts of powers and profits, which are neither mine nor theirs. I have rights of chase and warren, as my dignity requires. I can fish, but Hobden tickles. I can shoot, but Hobden wires. I repair, but he reopens. Certain gaps which men allege have been used by every Hobden since a Hobden swapped a hedge. Shall I dog his morning progress o'er the track betraying dew, demand his dinner basket into which my pheasant flew, confiscate his evening faggot under which my connies ran, and then summons him to judgment? I would sooner summons Pan. His dead are in the churchyard, 30 generations laid. Their names were old in history when Doomsday Book was made, and the passion and the piety and prowess of his line have seeded, rooted, fruited in some land the law calls mine. Not for any beast that burrows, not for any bird that flies, would I lose his large sound counsel, miss his keen amending eyes. He is bailiff, woodman, wheelwright, field surveyor, engineer, and if flagrantly a poacher, 'tain't for me to interfere. Hob, what about that river bit? I turn to him again, with Fabricius and Ogia and William of Warren. Have it just as you've a mind to, but, and here he takes command, for whoever pays the taxes, old Mus Hobden owns the land. Now, way back when I was a nipper, before them steam engines came along, great ships was drove by the power of the wind, sails blossomed aloft to the lilt of a song, anchors was heaved up by manpower, sometimes took half of the crew. There was songs for that capstan work also, I, Jack Tar, knew a shanty or two. Now sometimes there might be a fiddle, or maybe a sailor lad pounding a drum, but you never did get the whole story, 'cause the singing would stop when the hauling was done. Then boxes for phonograph records, with a windlass clapped on at the side, replaced foo-foo bands in the forecastle, and the old sailor songs nearly died. For a while there were whole generations who never heard Ranzo or Blow the Man Down. You might sometimes hear Drunken Sailor, never knowing 'twas sung as the capstan went round. These days we're singing the shanties, they're twice as much fun as back then, 'cause we don't have to stamp round no capstan, and we sing 'em right up to the end. Yes, these days we're singing the shanties, they're twice as much fun as back then, 'cause you don't have to stamp round no capstan, and we sing 'em right up to the end. I'm a deep water sailor who'll do you no wrong. Way, hey, blow the man down. Buy me a drink and I'll sing yous a song. Give me some time to blow the man down. As I was a-rolling down Paradise Street, way, hey, blow the man down. A Liverpool copper, a chance for the mate. Give me some time to blow the man down. He said, I see you're a black bowler by the cut of your hair. Way, hey, blow the man down. And the long red top sea boots I see that you wear. Give me some time to blow the man down. You sails on some packet that flies the black ball. Way, hey, blow the man down. And you've robbed some poor Dutchman of clothes, boots and all. Give me some time to blow the man down. I says, Mr. Policeman, you do me great wrong. Way, hey, blow the man down. I'm a flying fish sailor just home from Hong Kong. Give me some time to blow the man down. Well, I knocked off his cap and I swings at his jaw. Way, hey, blow the man down. He says, look here, young fella, you're breaking the law. Give me some time to blow the man down. They gave me 6 months down in old Walton jail. Way, hey, blow the man down. And for fighting policemen, they won't give you bail. Give me some time to blow the man down. So come all you young sailors that follows the sea. Way, hey, blow the man down. Don't fight with policemen or you'll end up like me. Give me some time to blow the man down. If you want a merchant ship to roam the seas at large, you won't have any trouble if you have a good discharge. Signed by the Board of Trade and everything exact. There's nothing goes on in a limey ship contrary to the act. So haul well your weather main brace and ease away the lee. Hoist jibs and topsails and let the ship go free. Hurrah, boys, hurrah, we sing the Jubilee. It's damn the Royal Navy, lads, a merchant ship for me. Now when you join a merchant ship, you have the articles read. They tell you of your pork, your beef, your butter and your bread. Your coffee, tea and cocoa, boys, your peas and beans exact. There's nothing goes on in a limey ship contrary to the act. So haul well your weather main brace and ease away the lee. Hoist jibs and topsails, let the ship go free. Hurrah, boys, hurrah, we sing the Jubilee. It's damn the Royal Navy, lads, a merchant ship for me. Now watch and watch, the first day out is contrary to the act. At 10 days out, yous all lay aft to get your lime juice whack. Fetch out your handy billy, boys, and clap it on the tack. For we're going to raise the mainsail all according to the act. So haul well your weather main brace and ease away the lee. Hoist jibs and topsails and let the ship go free. Hurrah, boys, hurrah, we sing the Jubilee. It's damn the Royal Navy, lads, a merchant ship for me. It's up the deck, me bully boys, with many's the curse we go, a-waiting for 8 bells to strike that we might go below. 8 bells is struck, the watch is called, the log is hove exact. Relieve the wheel, go below, according to the act. So haul well your weather main brace and ease away the lee. Hoist jibs and topsails, let the ship go free. Hurrah, boys, hurrah, we sing the Jubilee. It's damn the Royal Navy, lads, a merchant ship for me. The boatswain, the gunner, and me, lads, was each of us mighty sweet on a Portsmouth lass named Polly, as was known as the pride of the fleet. But when we got our orders to sail for the Golden West, why, little Poll, she scarce could tell which one of us she loved best. Which one of us she loved best? Oh, sweet Poll, on Portsmouth quay she gave us kisses 3. A kiss on the cheek for the boatswain and gunner, but one on the lips for me, as was only a plain A.B., me lads, only a plain A.B. A kiss on the cheek for the boatswain and gunner, but one on the lips for me. We'd yellow Jack on board, lads, way out in Barbados. The boatswain and gunner, sad to say, they both turned up their toes. So we found them a neat little berth, lads, at the foot of a tamarind tree, and we left them sleeping high and dry on the shores of the Western Sea, on the shores of the Western Sea. Then I thought of Portsmouth quay, and Poll, who loved all 3, and I thought as she'd lost both the boatswain and gunner, she'd better make sure of me, as was only a plain A.B., me lads, only a plain A.B. I thought as she'd lost both the boatswain and gunner, she'd better make sure of me. We finished up the cruise, lads, and when ashore I got, well, Poll and me, with many's the kiss, agreed to splice the knot. I took her for better or worse, lads, but a nod's as good as a wink. And if there's things a tar can't say, there's lots as he can think. There's lots as he can think. And I think of Portsmouth quay, and those happy days and free, when little Poll first shook her curls at the boatswain, the gunner, and me. And I think of the tamarind tree on the shores of the Western Sea. And oh, don't I wish, as the boatswain or gunner had got her instead of me. Just a boy of 17, he started out to roam, to sail across the 7 seas, so far away from home. She said that she would wait for him till he returned again. As the anchor chain came up and down, he heard this soft refrain. Down by the dockyard wall, I will wait for you. As you come across that walk ashore in your suit of blue, my love for you will never change, my heart is always true. Down by the dockyard wall, I will wait for you. Around the world he travelled, beneath the ensign high. He saw the dainty flying fish, the starless Arctic sky. but in his heart he's pining for his love so far away. As the bow waves split the cool night air, he heard the lee wind say, "Down by the dockyard wall I will wait for you, as you come across that walk ashore in your suit of blue. My love for you will never change, my heart is always true. Down by the dockyard wall I will wait for you." Home again and the good times came, her arms were open wide. He held her safely close to him, she walked by his side. But dark clouds soon filled up the sky, and war it threatened on, till once again, a sad farewell, a young girl stands alone, singing, "Down by the dockyard wall I will wait for you, as you come across that walk ashore in your suit of blue. My love for you will never change, my heart is always true. Down by the dockyard wall I will wait for you." That's a long, long time ago. Now there's a picture in a frame, and tears shed every Christmas, for the memories remain. But if the young man in the photograph could hear what she's to say, he'd likely join the chorus, for she sings it every day. Down by the dockyard wall I will wait for you, as you come across that walk ashore in your suit of blue. My love for you will never change, my heart is always true. Down by the dockyard wall I will wait for you. Down by the dockyard wall I will wait for you. My heart is broken, but what care I? Such pride inside me has woken. I shall try my best not to cry by and by, when the final farewells must be spoken. I'll join the Legion, that's what I'll do, and in some far distant region, where human hearts are staunch and true, I shall start my life anew. Goodbye, it's time I sought a foreign clime, where I may find their hearts more kind than I leave behind. And so I go to fight the savage foe, although I know that I'll be sometimes missed by the girls I've kissed. In some Abyssinian French dominion I shall do my bit, and fall for the flag if I must. Where the desert sand is nice and handy, I'll be full of grit. You won't see my heels for the dust. I'll do or die, or know the reason why when told. of boldly opposed last stands for the fatherland. Goodbye, goodbye, I wish you all a last goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, I wish you all a last goodbye. Somewhere out there's just a few good women who are looking for a few good men. Me and the boys make a lot of noise, but we act like gentlemen. We've been on the road, ain't had no lovin' since I can't remember when. We're looking for a few good women who are looking for a few good men. Now the guy on the drums might look like a bum, but that's just the way drummers are. This here's my brother, he's a heck of a lover, and he plays the lead guitar. Kid on the bass got a pretty face, but he's old enough to vote. And if you like my style, give me a smile and pass me up a note. If your boyfriend's around, don't put him down, you're better off with the devil you know. If you're free, you might be for me, and we could talk about it after the show. I can't promise you love, I can't promise you truth, I can't promise you a big gold mine. But if you like to dance and you want to take a chance, I could promise you a real good time. Boys, somewhere out there's just a few good women who are looking for a few good men. Me and the boys make a lot of noise, but we act like gentlemen. We've been on the road, ain't had no lovin' since I can't remember when. We're looking for a few good women who are looking for a few good men. Some of the boys are married, but they don't wear no disguise. Got a golden band, third finger, left hand, and contentment in their eyes. Some of us wanna be lovers, others just wanna be friends. We're looking for a few good women who are looking for a few good men. Now, don't get me wrong if I'm coming on strong, but I don't have a whole lot of time. If you're out there, wave your hand in the air, show me that you're gonna be mine. Somewhere out there's just a few good women who are looking for a few good men. Me and the boys make a lot of noise, but we act like gentlemen. We've been on the road, ain't had no lovin' since I can't remember when. We're looking for a few good women who are looking for a few good men. We're looking for a few good women who are looking for a few good men. We're looking for a few